GoPro owners will be aware of the periodic updates released for their cameras, known as firmware updates. It is advised to keep your camera up to date by applying new firmware, since they help to not only fix bugs or other issues, but also add important new features and settings, enhancing the camera's feature set even further. To make the process as convenient as possible, GoPro provide users with 3 varied methods to updating the GoPro Hero firmware. Before applying any firmware updates, it's always a good idea to back up all video and images from your memory card. Firmware updates shouldn't cause any data loss, but it's good practice nonetheless. Another optional yet advisable step is to format the memory card within the camera itself. Formatting the card ensures there are no issues between the camera reading and writing data to the card, which is required during the firmware update process. In order to use the GoPro app to update your camera firmware, users must first ensure they are running the latest version of the GoPro app on their smartphone or tablet. Once the GoPro app has been updated, go ahead and connect the camera to the app itself, a relatively simple process which you'll find covered in previous videos on the channel. In case you missed them, I'll leave links in the description box below. When a firmware update is available with the GoPro camera connected to the app, users will notice an additional update icon across the top bar. If not visible, head into the settings and check to ensure the auto download option is enabled, since this will automatically check for and download any available camera updates. Tap on the camera models option to see a list of all the cameras previously connected to the GoPro app, where you can select which model you wish to automatically download updates for. Back at the home screen, go ahead and tap the update button to begin the update process. Follow through any prompts, and leave the GoPro app and camera untouched while the update completes. The process will include transferring the files wirelessly across to the memory card within the GoPro, after which the GoPro will take over and apply the firmware files to the camera as normal. Note that the camera may restart several times during the update process. Those using the GoPro editing software, named GoPro Studio, are able to update their camera directly through the software itself. Begin by connecting the USB cable included within your package to the mini USB port on the side of the camera, and the opposite end to your computer, after which switching on the camera will place it into USB mode. If an update for the camera is available, GoPro Studio will detect the camera and prompt you to download and install the update. To begin, users must accept the terms in the license agreement, after which following the prompts will allow users to download the firmware update files, transfer them across to the camera, after which the camera will begin its update process as normal. Again, note that the camera may restart several times during the update process. If neither of the previous methods work, cause problems, or you just like to do things the old-fashioned way, myself included, the manual update method is probably the most reliable way of updating your camera, but also includes some additional steps. It is important to ensure you have at least 2 bars on the battery within your camera before you begin. Users will first need to check that an update is available by checking the current firmware version on the camera, which is briefly displayed when switching the camera on, and then heading across to the GoPro website, hitting the Support tab at the top, and selecting your specific camera model under the Product Updates link. If a new version of the firmware is available, scroll down and hit the Manual Update link, after which users will need to enter a few details, including the camera serial number located within the battery compartment of your camera, and continue to the next page where users are able to hit the download button in order to retrieve the required files. The next step involves transferring the downloaded files across to the camera by either connecting the camera to your computer directly using the supplied USB cable, or by removing the micro SD card and inserting it into a USB card reader. Either way, transfer the entire update folder across to the card, after which the card can be ejected, placed back into the camera if it was removed, and after a brief press of the power button, the camera will detect the firmware files and update the camera as normal. Regardless of chosen update method, the end result is the same. Switching the camera on should display the newest firmware version, although note that settings will revert back to default, so take a moment to set your camera back to your desired settings. Once complete, users are now able to enjoy the extra features available with their GoPro camera. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below. Alternatively, feel free to check out the other GoPro videos in my channel by clicking above or in the description box below. Remember to subscribe, as there are plenty more GoPro videos and tutorials coming shortly. See you next time in Nifty's Tech Corner.